What's up, guys? Renasant here. Welcome back to the channel. We are exactly where we left off in our previous episode, and this is actually probably, if I was a betting man, this would be the episode that most people would say they've been waiting for, just because this is probably one of the most challenging and I wouldn't say iconic, but one of the most challenging bosses for sure in the Souls series of games. Obviously, there's multiple bosses you can point to as being one of the some of the tougher ones, but Midir is just, and like I said in the last episode, this is Midir's boss fight down this hole. Midir's just the thing that makes him so tough, honestly, is his health pool. Okay. That is why we are using this Pestilent Mercury or Pestilent Mist spell today. I don't know why it's called Pestilent Mist. I swear to God, it used to be called Pestilent Mercury. But, yeah, Midir just has a massive health pool. He does very, very potent damage. He also has pretty much a one-shot kill move that's, if you remember when we were fighting him on that cliff, he had that laser beam thing that he did. That can actually one-shot you a lot of the time, so you do have to be aware of that. We have the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring on just to make sure that our Pestilent Mist spell stays out there for a while. I'm actually going to equip some Divine Blessings here and some Seed Brows. Well, probably not any Seed Brows, but whatever. Just because I don't want to have to fight this boss a million times. It's honestly, for me, I personally don't enjoy fighting Midir. He's a great boss in terms of difficulty goes, but I think a lot of that difficulty is artificial, purely based on the fact that he just has a large health pool. I mean, his attacks aren't super crazy, but they can get annoying. But it's really just that health pool. And disclaimer, I will be summoning Shira. Shira actually makes this fight a lot more difficult. She jacks up Midir's health pool even more. And you think, well, yeah, but she's a sponge for a while. Well, not really, because she dies usually before halfway through the fight most of the time. Couple that with the fact that her being a attack sponge or like bait for Midir actually kind of screws up what we're trying to do with Pestilent Mist. We want Midir to just be very predictable and stay in one spot and you know, that kind of thing. Well, it's very hard to do with Shira, but anyway, guys, this is gonna be the Midir fight, so I won't be talking too much during it, probably just because it's like I said, it's a super long endurance based fight, and I'm just not a huge fan of this fight, so I don't want to do it 20 times. I mean, we probably won't win the first time, but I'm just, I don't know, not a huge fan of it. So anyway, remember Midir, we knocked him off the ledge, which is way up there. Shira will drop down once we trigger Midir. And basically, just walking up to him triggers him, as you can see. And I like to go ahead and put some Pestilent Mercury spots right here. You see his HP bar is ticking down right now as we speak. Because he is in that Pestilent Mercury. We want him to always be in that Pestilent Mercury mist, whatever it is. One thing we don't want to do, though, in the Midir fight is to let him get too far away from us. The further away from us that Midir is, the more damage he will do to us, I assure you. But you can see he's pretty much only targeting Shira. That's fine. Again, don't let Midir get too far from you. because he will do these death beams if you do. Is your tail still in that? Yeah, so you could check, make sure Pestilent Mist is hitting him purely based on, is his HP bar going down? Which, yeah, there it goes. Once he gets to about half health, he will actually go into a second phase. And you will notice when that happens, I assure you. Shira's probably going to die pretty soon. She probably has 0 or 1 more Estus, so... Alright, so he should go into his second phase right about now. Not quite yet, but any second now. There he goes. He's going to start... Okay, never mind. Again, avoid the death beam. There he goes. So second phase, he's going to like gather all this energy and shoot it off at you. Please be careful of that. That will decimate your health. And he's doing it again here. He doesn't always do it twice, but sometimes he will. He can also shoot, like, I guess, like skull energies at you. Very easy to dodge that. You can see, I mean, he's not killing us by any means. He says as he gets hit by Midir's fire. Sheer is probably about to die. Here, eat that, Midir. But yeah, the way you really want to handle this fight, though, honestly, as sad as it is oh, Shira. Shira is dead. The way you really want to handle this fight is to just not melee ever. And to just stay using Pestilent Mercury as much as you can. Pestilent Mist, excuse me. You can see his health is just draining. I mean, and this is the attack I was telling you. You gotta really. Alright, he's about to do a death beam probably at us. No? So this should be the end of Midir right here. Yep. That's it. I'm honestly shocked that we got him in one try. Like I said, you really, it's just a matter of keeping your, you don't want to keep too much distance, but keeping some distance, but not letting him get too far, but also never really trying to melee him, just because it uses so much stamina. You really just want to stick with using Pestilent Mercury, like I said, or Pestilent Mist, just because it uses such little amount of FP and stamina. I mean, watch this. Look at that. That's all it uses. So you have plenty of time to dodge, plenty of stamina to dodge. With the Bellowing Dragon Crest Ring, that just, it trivializes this, honestly, man. Like, it makes it so much easier. And the other thing that you may have noticed that I did during that fight is I really kind of stayed towards his front for the most part. I think most of that fight. It just, I don't know, it makes it a little bit easier, I think. Do I have any pyromancies? No, I'm using lightning arrow. Oh. Well, we'll take that out and put, where are you? Greatly boost miracles. We'll do that. So yeah, that was Midir. Like I said, nothing too crazy, honestly. We also got a couple things from him. We got his soul. Midir, descendant of archdragons, was raised by the gods and, owing to his immortality, was given a duty to eternally battle the dark, a duty that he would never forget even after the gods perished. So this is kind of referencing what Shira was saying, that he had been consumed by the dark, which you can tell a lot of those attacks that he was using were very abyss-like in nature, I guess you could say. And we also got Spears of the Church, which is actually a covenant item. It's a green rusted ornament of young grass, the crest of Princess Filianor, equipped to join the Spears of the Church covenant. The Spears of the Church watch over the princess's slumber, and when the church is compromised by a trespasser, the Judicator summons them as loyal spirits to eliminate the threat. Loyal spirits summoned in the Spears of the Church are granted a blessing of protection. So what that does basically mean, it basically means that if you are using that covenant, we'll learn a little bit more about it here in a little bit, but effectively it lets you join boss fights, so other people's boss fights. We'll learn a little bit more about that. We actually, now though, we want to go back to Shira and be like, hey, we killed Midir. Like, are you cool now? Are you gonna give us something? Basically, we want her stuff, you know. Ow. So you remember the quick way here. We probably will just sprint here, honestly. I don't really feel like fighting all these guys, to be honest with you. And we're getting to the end of this series. We probably only have 1 or 2, maybe more episodes left in the Ring City, at least.
My most humble thanks. 'Tis thanks to thee the dragon erred not from his vows. Please, take this, a final gift of thanks.
Time slap!
Hasten on thy journey, but wake not the slumbering princess, as the fire waneth does she lie by the dark. Orph, my humblest
Ow. Leave me alone. So, first of all, we got a slab. Awesome. Second of all, Shira warned us not to wake the slumbering princess, so of course, what are we gonna do? Probably wake the slumbering princess, right? Probably. But for now, we got the slab, we got Midir. I thought that was going to take a lot longer, to be honest with you. So we are going to actually proceed forward into our next area. So this is kind of like a stacked boss fight area. This is not where I want to be. You'll notice we just fought a boss, which, by the way, Midir totally optional boss. There's no reason for you to fight him storyline wise unless you just want to get the lore and get the items. So, and of course, get that sexy slab, which that in and of itself is worth it for sure. But yeah, so we want to go back here. We're not going to obviously take the little sneaky path into Madeir's boss fight, which is right there. But instead, we're going to proceed through the other direction. In fact, let's go ahead and beef up with Tears of Denial here while we got it. And now we just kind of want to proceed forward. And if you remember, we had seen a very unique enemy. So this ring knight is wielding one of the most devastating weapons in the game. The Twin Knight Ring Paired Greatswords, or Ring Knight Paired Greatswords, I believe. Ring Knight RKPGS, yeah. That sounds right. Ring Knight Paired Greatswords. They have been nerfed a lot, but when these things first came out, when the DLC first released, these things were ridiculous. Like, sincerely ridiculous. We probably can't wield them with 30 strength, but nonetheless, we'll check this young gentleman out. 187 damage, eh? I mean, you can see that these things clearly pack a punch. Too bad they make you super slow. Please don't fall off the cliff, though. I do want the swords. And, by the way, just in case you're wondering, the swords are a guaranteed drop from this guy. So, you will get these swords. Ooh, I thought that was going to kill you. There you go. Ring Knight Paired Greatswords. Such a cool dual weapon. Paired black greatswords wielded by the Ring Knights. The arms of early men were forged in the abyss and betray a smidgen of life. For this reason, the gods cast a seal of fire upon such weapons and those who possess them. Yeah. Pretty cool moveset. The standard R1. Nothing crazy. Just boom, boom. The R2 is just kind of a charged attack like that. The L2, R1. Well, let's see. You can see they're super fun to use. We're not going to use them, but and there's also a couple items out here. There's one right here. Budding green blossoms. There's also one chilling behind this thing. This is a ritual spear fragment. I don't think we picked one of these up yet, have we? We found filling our spear ornament, but ritual spear fragment. I can never remember what exactly this is. Thought it was just in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Summon a row of upwardly thrusting ritual spears. It's an online play item. When spears of the church face unduly treacherous foes, this allows them to draw upon former majesty and summon a row of upward thrusting ritual spears. So you'll see what that is here in a moment. But first of all, we see that item over there. We definitely want to go grab it. Probably don't need to have the Seek Brow and Divine Blessings anymore. Definitely will take our Twink Twink though. Alright, so proceeding forward here to this giant door.
Unknown visitor, return from whence thou camest, the abyss runneth deep. By the king's decree, none may disturb our mistress's slumber.
Props to you if you thought that this guy sounded like the Forbidden Cave from Aladdin.
By the king's decree.
Yeah, I don't think so, pal. We're not gonna listen to you. We're gonna come right on in, if you don't mind. Alright, so yes, immediately after our boss fight, there is indeed another boss fight. And actually, we have a summon right here. Hey! It's actual Patches, not lying to us and saying his name is Lap. Come on. So this boss fight is unique. This is actually an online boss fight. Of course, we're playing offline, but for those who are wearing that Spear of the Church Covenant item, they would be summoned in as the boss of this area, right? There's also, but if you're not playing online, there's a AI boss basically. There's also Painted Guardians in here, and there's also an Adjudicator in here. So of course we know an Adjudicator. That is him right there. He's gonna talk. We're gonna kill him while he talks. Alright, so kill Adjudicator Argo. And he will summon a Painted Guardian. Okay. Which I thought we could get a cheeky backstab on. You do want to kill this Painted Guardian pretty fast because, as you can see, the boss is forthcoming. Half-Light Spear of the Church. That is his name. And he's got some moves. That right there, those spears, that is what the Ritual Spear Fragment does, in case you were wondering. Patches, help out, bro. So about halfway through the fight, as you can see, he will summon another Painted Guardian. And again, you want to kill these Painted Guardians, A, because they're another enemy to deal with, but also B, because right there, they heal the boss. They heal Half-Light, as well as healing themselves, so... Alright, so they're dead. Patches is still alive, doing Patches things. Half-Light is not going to live very much longer. And you can see he's wielding a pretty BA katana, honestly. Goodbye, Half-Light. Thanks for the slab, broski. You do your thing, Patches. You do your thing. And that's the Spears of the Church right there. Nothing to it but to do it. And so you can just proceed forward here. There's two paths, but they both lead up these stairs and to this bonfire. Which is called Church of Filianor. Follow our elevator here. And remember, Filianor, who Filianor is I believe it's Gwen's youngest daughter. And Shira is Filianor's protector. So this is, Gwen has put his lady here, his daughter, his youngest daughter here. And she is basically Sleeping Beauty. She's asleep, right? Do we want to wake her up? I mean, yeah. Also, she appears to have an infection in her eyes there. Oh, sorry, fam. What have we done? Well, you look just as beautiful as ever, Filianor. Spy a bonfire. Oh, also, we caused the end of the world, perhaps? Sure seems that way, doesn't it? That's cool. The world's overrated anyway. Alright, so we basically killed the princess. We killed Gwen's daughter. I'd wager a guess she's that Shira is not too happy about that. So anyway, that's the way forward right there. You can see you can come down here, but it's just a dead end. We're not going to fight the final boss in this episode just because I want to save that for its own thing. But there is a couple of things to do out here. A fair word of warning, the final boss of the game will be triggered when you go through, towards that little area right there. When you go, I think it's when you step through that archway or get past that archway at least. Maybe not necessarily through it, but you notice we come over here.
Filianor, help me, please. The Red Hood is come to eat us, to eat our dark souls.
So this guy's clearly like a king or something, right? I mean, he's got a crown on and everything. He looks rough.
Eleanor, help me.
I mean, you can see he's crawled from a pretty far distance. You also note that he said the Red Hood has come to eat our dark soul. So, not sure what that means exactly, but you'll notice just running around here, I mean, this place is basically end times, right? I mean, it's basically like a giant desert now. You can pretty much run endlessly in any direction here. I'm just kind of showing you that this place is just extremely desolate. Where we want to actually go to, though, is over here. So you see this little, that's where we came from up there. You see this little ruined building right here. That is actually where we want to go to right now. And make sure you're embered as well, of course, because there may be an invasion of sorts here. So you want to come through here and go all the way back here.
I've searched for thee,
Hey!
dark, stricken creature. I am Shira, daughter of the Duke, descendant of gods, and trusted friend to Nadir. At once, I am the honor of the gods, the glory of fire, and the fear of the dark. Thou shalt not go unpunished for thy treachery, thy profanity, and thy shameless yearning.
So, yeah, Shira's, she's unhappy with us, rightly so. We killed her dragon friend. She's got lightning arrow, which is super annoying, as you can see. You can see it does a metric F-ton load of damage. Also, that weapon right there is also very dangerous. Are you not out of Estus yet, little girl? There she goes. Goodbye, Shira.
Would I ever forgive thy lowly kind?
So of course she's PO'd that we killed Nadir. Well, that we killed him, and that we wasted Princess Filianor. Right? She's not cool with that. Once you kill her, she's gonna drop some interesting stuff. Crucifix of the Mad King. This is probably one of the coolest weapons in the game. I actually love this weapon. It's extremely strong. It's a cross spear hung with a malformed corpse. Once a Mad King was born to the pygmy royalty, and Shira, Knight of Filianor, put him to rest. But Shira's cross spear, unable to kill the Undying King, only pinned itself to him. Shira delivered them together to a dark room, where she stayed and held them close. It's literally a corpse. Oh no. So, we've put a bomb on ourselves here. That gave us poise. It's just got some very interesting qualities to it, I guess you could say. Alright, so there's really only 2 more things to do here. One of them I don't believe we can do until after we kill the final boss, but I'll tell you what, we're gonna approach the final boss, then we may just homeward bone out of it. I'm actually wanting to do something else though. Oh yeah, we can do it. So yeah, if you just come around the corner here, you'll see this ring knight just chilling, kind of puttering back and forth here. We definitely want to kill this ring knight for what will become readily apparent here momentarily. You know what? That does not do that much damage. It's poise. There we go. So after he dies, you'll get a free Titanite slab. Yeah, for whatever reason, man, this guy just gives you a Titanite slab. I have no earthly idea why, but we appreciate it nonetheless. So that is probably going to be it for this episode, guys, just because I don't really want to fight the boss, like the final boss, just yet. There's going to be... The plan for the next episode is going to be to fight the final boss, kill the final boss, of course, go do one more thing in Ariandel that really you only trigger once you kill this boss, and then go buy and read some of the armors that the Shrine Handmaiden has, and possibly, if we have time, go over some of the boss soul items that can be made. So yeah, that's the plan for the next episode, guys. It may be the final episode, just in the new game at least. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button for me, and we will see you next time. Bye.